After 7 days off, the Wheaton Thunder are finally back in town for the final game of the 2024 year as they welcome Rinko Powell and the North Park Vikings. Before we preview the teams, we'll send it down to the floor for the national anthem and the reading of the starting lineup by All-Star PA announcer Tim Martin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wheaton College basketball. Tonight we have your Wheaton College Thunder going up against the North Park University Vikings. And now would everyone please rise for the playing of the national anthem. And now the starting lineups. First for the visitors from North Park, at guard a 6'3" senior out of New Orleans. That's number 3, Preston Bax III. At guard a 6'2" senior out of Brother Rice, number 5, Rico Powell. At forward a 6'8" sophomore out of Hoffman Estates High School. That's number 11, D.J. Wallace. At guard a 6' senior out of Kenwood. That's number 12, T.J. Gardner. And at guard a 6'1" junior out of Cottage Grove, 20, Lance Nelson. North Park is coached by Edwin McGee, who's assisted by Aaron Jacobs, Jalen Boyd, Mark Smith, and Andres Marmolejo. And now, Wheaton College fans, on your feet, the starting lineup for your Wheaton College Thunder. At guard, a 6'2" junior out of Fort Mill. That's number 3, Kyle Nebbs. At forward, a 6'4" freshman out of Caledonia. Number 4, Kyan Vanderwood. At guard, a 6'3" freshman out of Westerville, Ohio. Number 12, Devin Martin. At guard, a 6'3" sophomore out of Northfield, number 20, Soren Richardson. And at guard, a 6'4" senior out of Indianapolis, that's number 23, Noah Hedrick. Wheaton College is coached by Mike Schauer, who's assisted by JP John Panner and Timothy Watts.
And alongside Xavier Jones, I'm Aiden Kong. Xavier, what are you looking forward to tonight's match?
Tonight is going to be the battle of the guards. Both of these teams are going to be playing small ball with the exception of the 6'8" sophomore DJ Wallace playing for the Vikings. Expect a lot of transition basketball and fast break opportunities. It's going to be a fun one tonight.
Of course, both teams entering in on really opposite spectrums. Wheaton on a 4-game losing streak. Meanwhile, North Park, a 4-game winning streak, having won their first 2 conference games. They just took care of Milliken 73-64. And let's roll from King Arena. Of course, North Park coming in this game 5-3, as we said, 2-0 in conference play. Took care of Carroll, took care of Milliken. And already taking that 3, a little bit too strong, though, fight for the board, and TJ Gardner able to get it back. Gardner rises up against Devin Martin, off the glass, knocks it in.
Yeah, tough move there off the offensive rebound. Banking that one in off the glass, that's bag work.
Wheaton, meanwhile, coming into this game 3-7. Played their first conference game against Elmhurst last Saturday, but haven't played since. Nice skip pass, Colin Epps for 3, knocks it down.
Beautiful pass down the baseline. That's what you call a ghost pass. And Neves knocking it down.
15 points, 1 rebound for Kyle Neves on 58% true shooting. Here's Preston backs against Neves, back outside. Of course, North Park, a lot of veteran presence back despite some losses. That three there by Preston backs a little bit too strong. Neves dices down the baseline, banks it home.
That's the sequence that you want to see, and there's a turnover.
And Wheaton almost capitalizing on that one. Let's check the replay.
Yeah, Neves on a really nice drive. And Soren Richardson sneaking up. Couldn't get the initial one to go, but that's what you want to see starting out here early for the Thunder.
Preston backs using the Wallace screen. Now here's Rico Powell on those transfers for North Park. Inside Wallace. 9 on the shot clock against Noah Hedrick. And that pass nearly taken away. Gardner now, floater upstairs, can't get it to go. Hedrick with the board. Back inside, Soren Richardson nestled it in. Finally feeding Soren Richardson, of course the leading scorer in the CCIW, averaging 21.6 points per game, also good enough to be 46 in all Division III. Wallace in the low post against Hedrick, attracts the double team from Devin Martin. Rico Powell from beyond the arc buries the three-pointer.
Yeah, Rico Powell, their leading scorer. He's going to have a big night. He's been having a really, really good season scoring the ball, and here's the press from the Vikings. And
not a surprise to see that full-court press if you know North Park Vikings basketball, and there's a foul. Looks like it's going to go against Lance Nelson.
Yeah, Wheaton going to have to be really careful with how they play basketball, bringing it up the court. Going to get a lot of press from North Park, trying to heat them up and create turnovers.
Correction, it will go against Preston backs. One called for the foul. You have Lance Nelson being picked up by Devin Martin. Martin tries and go inside. Devin Martin, and with a tip there by Kyan Vanderwood.
Yeah, Vanderwood in the right space at the right time there.
Of course, Kyan Vanderwood making his third start of the season. Started the first 2 games against Benedictine and Lake Forest. Lance Nelson buries the three.
Lance Nelson, usually an assist guy, leads the team in assists, but gets the tray ball to fall there as Vanderwood finishes at the rim.
Timeout on the floor as the Wheaton Thunder lead 11-8. Xavier, what do you like so far from both teams?
A lot of possessions going back and forth. This is really exciting basketball. But Wheaton coming out and playing with a lot more enthusiasm and energy than what they have. Obviously, Rico hit a shot from 3, but also he hasn't seen that many shots. They're going to have to keep him under wraps and stay in front of this North Park team. But on both sides right now, they're both playing really well on both ends of the floor.
Of course, North Park last year finishing 11-14, losing record. Now they bring in a new head coach, and Coach McGee, as previously head coach Sean Smith left after 2 seasons. He's now at South Dakota, but Coach McGee, really hot head coach, has his team off to a really nice start this season.
Yeah, really nice start, but they didn't start off great. They lost their first 3, giving up 106, 114, and 91 in those first 3 losses. But since then, they have been on fire. They've won their last 4, and they have just been really, really putting it all together. This North Park team is hot right now.
And even though they're giving up an average about 77 points per game, the second worst scoring defense, they make up it for their steals and their blocks. Here comes a 3 by DJ Wallace from the top of the key. Rings out though. Here comes Wheaton. Neves for 3. And oh, whoa, a big contact right there. It's going to go against Noah Hedrick as you had Rico Powell trying to get the rebound.
Yeah, pushing it out in transition there. Get a good look for Neves. And then Hedrick coming in late. Looked like that was clean all ball, but a little bit of incidental contact to the shoulder area, and that's going to go North Park's way.
Operating out the horns set right there was North Park. And now here is Lance Nelson against Kyan Vanderwood. Outside, Preston backs for three, sprays the triple.
Yeah, you can't leave him open. He's an exceptional shooter, especially when he's got his feet set and no one around him. He makes the Thunder pay right there.
Only had 3 points, 2 boards, and 3 assists against Milliken, but did have 13 points against Carroll 2 games ago. That's wide open for three. That's blocked, though, by DJ Wallace. Martin looking outside. Here's now Noah Hedrick with a nice spin move. Hedrick greases the cylinder.
Beautiful move. Usually after a blocked shot, and offense is kind of at its wits, but Noah Hedrick making a great play and a spin move and a finish at the cup.
First field goal for Noah Hedrick, 18 points, tied his career high. Rico Powell high off the glass. Lance Nelson, the deep three, buries the three-pointer. Of course, Lance Nelson shot 41% last year. This season, not necessarily the best stats, about 29%, but he can heat up from beyond the arc.
Yeah, he absolutely can. Not a guy that Wheaton wants to see get hot because he can change a game.
And it looks like they're going to call a foul against Preston Bags, jawing there with Kyan Vanderwood.
Yeah, Vanderwood trying to get back to his right hand, and Bags trying to slide his feet, but he's launching himself into Vanderwood. He's got to beat him to the spot, but he bodied him up, and that's what the call was on.
Tajon Barry will check in for North Park. Nathan Clark also checks in for Wheaton. Nice inside feed. Vanderwood was left wide open, able to finish. That is already 6 points for Kyan Vanderwood in this ball game. Had 15 points against Elmers. North Park able to respond right back.
Yeah, I tell you what, TJ Gardner is having an exceptional first half so far, creating a lot of offense for the Vikings.
Richardson, boom goes the dynamite. Another deep three by Lance Nelson, nothing but net. I mean, Lance Nelson knocked down 2 huge threes in their last game against Milliken, but boy, he's been heating up ever since.
Yeah, absolutely, and these two teams are trading blows. They're going possession for possession. Really close game. This is CCIW basketball.
Both Lance Nelson and Kyan Vanderwood each have 6 points. Soren Richardson another three, and he's fouled. It looks like it might be a 3-point play if it occurred after the shot.
Yeah, off the down screen by Schultz. A miscommunication between Gardner and Powell there, giving Soren the opportunity to get that shot away, and then the foul after the shot.
Of course, if you do follow CCIW basketball, we just talked about Soren Richardson leading scorer, averaging 21.6 points per game, and really exploded from the get-go. 37 points against Benedictine, just continued that. 29 points against Concordia, Wisconsin. Went out 11 out of 12 from the free throw line. And Xavier, what do you think? I mean, there's a lot of things that you can mention about Soren Richardson, but what would you say is one of his best intangibles?
One of his best intangibles is he is a guy who's going to give all that he has. He brings a lot of energy to this club. Kind of quiet, but his care for the game and for this team shows up in how he plays. He's always going to bring the energy. Of
course, Coach Schauer has mentioned multiple times about Soren Richardson. He is a star. This is despite being a sophomore. And that's a three there by, I believe, Tajon Barry. Can't connect. Nathan Clark wants to push the pace, coast to coast, high up the glass. No. Devontae Robinson just checked into the ball game. Able to get it across the timeline. Mid-range J. Able to splash that one is William Bates. Both teams off to an incredible start offensively. North Park 7 of 13. Wheaton 8 of 13 from the field. Kyle Nebbs against Rico Powell. Powell with a nice defensive play. Nebbs, third chance, no.
Kyle Nebbs comfortable down there on the block, but couldn't get it to go on those 3 chances.
North Park still has the ball. They were trying to work it inside. It's Tajon Berry, and now Rico Powell from deep. And Devin Martin plucks the loose miss. Tristan Arnaud making him work. Devin Martin right to the cup, counted and one.
I mean, show your stuff, young man. From coast to coast. First of all, it is not easy bringing the ball up the court with someone harassing you, and then to contort your body coming down the lane, and then the focus to finish. Devin Martin with the big boy play right there.
And able to complete the three-point play, 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists on 44% true shooting for Devin Martin. And you come into the season thinking, okay, he's going to be that true point guard role. That's what Coach Howard was talking about, but really has a great scoring arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely, and he leads the team in assists, as there's another bucket there for the Vikings. He leads the team in assists, but he can get in his bag and score when he needs to. He's a dangerous guy when he's got the ball in his hands. That
was Tajon Berry on that last field goal for the Vikings. Devin Martin again, and that ball goes out of bounds. Where are they going to roll it? It's going to stay with Wheaton. I believe just went off the foot of Devontae Robinson there as he was jousting with Kyan Vanderwood. And it looks like they're going to get a foul against John Gaines. So he was messing around with Soren Richardson.
Yeah, North Park obviously on the defensive end trying to heat Wheaton up and get up in their grill. Wheaton doing a really good job of staying composed. That time got a little too handsy.
As we said before, this was something that Coach Smith did when he was here for the Vikings. And before that, I mean, he was with Coach Onenson of Wisconsin Lutheran. Both came from the same coaching staff. And, of course, if you know, Coach Onenson loves to press. Vanderwood being harassed by Arnaud, puts up the shot, leaves it short. Hedrick gets the board. Hedrick trying to finish. Vanderwood throws it off the backboard. That's going to be North Park ball.
A little bit of chaos down below the rim there. Good effort though. Vanderwood playing really, really well right now. He's all around the basketball, getting rebounds. He's got his hand in the mix on the defensive end as well.
Here's John Gaines trying to take advantage of the bad closeout by Veers, and he's going to be fouled.
That's one thing that North Park does exceptionally well, attacking the rim. You saw there that they left him open in the corner. He gets a pump fake and then takes it to the cup, draws a foul, gets to the strike.
Of course, we had a chance to talk to Coach Schauer yesterday, and he mentioned how in some ways both teams are similar in the fact that they don't necessarily have a big, your typical number 5 position, but he credited North Park. They're a very athletic team.
Yeah, an extremely athletic team. That's why, as a coach, you want to get them to press. You want them to play fast and play to their strengths. And getting to the rim is one of theirs as well.
John Gaines, 1 out 2 from the free throw line, 15 points against Wisconsin Lutheran. See if we can get it across the timeline. They do. That is inside for Devin Martin, ball on the ground, and it's going to be Vikings ball. No, rather a timeout on the floor. Vikings lead 24-23. And Xavier, of course, we just talked about how we had the chance to talk to Coach Schauer. I guess what was interesting from that conversation is the fact how Coach Schauer mentioned there's a difference between the high school game and the college game. And of course, I'll admit my ignorance. I am not an athlete of any kind. I did not play basketball. Still, it's really interesting to see that, yeah, there is a difference between the two games.
Yeah, it's extremely different. It doesn't matter if you're playing D1, D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO, from the high school level to the college level. It's a huge jump. And you've got a lot of guys on this Wheaton team, the young guys playing some big minutes in some big roles, and a lot of them are having to grow up. A lot of them are having to learn as they go, as Coach was saying. And it's really interesting to see it kind of unfold as they learn right in front of our eyes.
Of course, some of the things that Coach Schauer mentioned, he's like, well, some of the guys in high school never had a screen. Typically, they're given screens by other players. They're never asked to guard the best player. They're never asked to, deal with a college workload. But those are just some of the adjustments that you have to make. Just, again, a very interesting thing that Coach Schauer said. That ball goes out of bounds. Vikings ball.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice that you have to make. When you play on the college level, the competition is going to rise as well, not only against the guys that you're playing against, but the guys that you're playing with. And so this team has to find role players in order to win games, and in order to do that, you've got to divvy up your responsibilities.
Oh, they try to go inside, lead to Rico Powell, instead they turn it over. Devin Martin, transition 3, and can't get it to go. Here's Tajon Berry, blocking foul, and a chance at a 3-point play for Berry.
Well, first of all, that was an interesting sequence. Wheaton coming out in a zone. They get the turnover. They get the missed shot on the way back out. And then in transition, Kyle Nebb's trying to take the charge. He got his feet set initially, but realized he wasn't far enough to his right and tried to move late, and that's what awarded the whistle and the 3-point play.
So Tajon Berry started in the first game against Wisconsin. Luther has been relegated to the bench, but still a productive player, averaging about 5.4 points per game. Had 8 points against Millikan. Deep pass to Devin Martin. Martin, no, and they're going to call a blocking foul the other way. Let's see who's going to go against.
Yeah, on the outlet pass. Looked like Devin Martin initiated the contact, but when you're trying to draw the whistle, that's what you got to do, and more times than not, you're going to get the call in your favor.
Of course, Devin Martin, known as a coach's kid. His dad, Kevin Martin, served as his son's high school coach for 6 years, but stepped down after Devin Martin is now attending Wheaton. Of course, getting the opportunity to start. He started in every single game, along with Kyle Nebbs, along with Soren Richardson. And I'm not sure why the buzzer went off right there. The shot was not made.
Wheaton coming back with the 2-3 zone. North Park looks like they have another plan for it.
There's a deep 3 there. Oh, wow, Devontae Robinson, here's a Mount Point.
I mean, he shot that from Billy Graham Hall, an absolute deep 3. And here goes North Park getting out in transition off the turnover.
Vanderbilt turned it over on that last possession. Now it looks like Wheaton going back to man-to-man defense, if I'm not mistaken. Here's William Bates from beyond there. That one rolls out. Nebbs with the board. Noah Hedrick trying to take Lance Nelson inside. Second chance, bangs it in.
Yeah, that's the matchup you want. You want Noah Hedrick on the smaller Lance Nelson, backs him down, doesn't get it to go the first time, but the second try is true.
Lance Nelson, that one also rings out. Another rebound, and that's going to be a foul. Tajon Berry in the low post.
Yeah, and that's something that we talked with Coach Schauer about yesterday. Rebounds, rebounds, rebounds. Obviously a smaller team, no true big on the roster. So these guys are going to have to come together collectively and be disciplined in their box outs. When you're 6'10", you don't have to do as much to box out. But when you're 6'2", 6'3", 6 foot, you've got to do a little more work on the boards.
Of course, Wheaton entering this game last in offensive rebounds, second to last in defensive rebounds. Meanwhile, for North Park, they average about 12 offensive rebounds per game. That's second in the CCIW.
Yeah, it's why they've been successful. It's why they're 2-0 in the conference right now. They've been able to generate extra opportunities for themselves by crashing the glass.
Berry connects on the second free throw. They'll now give him 7 points in this contest. Steven Schultz is in the ballgame for Wheaton as they're able to get across the timeline. That's picked up there by Tajon Barrett, trying to work it inside of Brumfield. Instead, taken away. Here comes Lance Nelson. Rico Powell finds once again another flare, and this time it's Barry. And it looks like we got ourselves a timeout on the floor. North Park leading 34-26. Lance Nelson hitting up, making his 3 out of the last 4 field goals. But kind of going back to what you were talking about, Wheaton operating out of a 2-3 zone. Really unusual to see them do that.
Yeah, really unusual, but it's to congest the lane so that driving lanes for the Vikings are a little bit more just tighter and just not as easy. But I thought it was interesting because usually you play 2-3 against teams who love to drive and are really good at it but can't really shoot from the outside. North Park is shooting really well from 3, so that'll be something interesting to see as we go moving forward. But yeah, it's an interesting thing, but also the last few possessions, Wheaton hasn't been able to actually set up because they've been getting out in transition. And so North Park really wants to do that. They've been creating turnovers, getting some early shots in the shot clock as well. So that'll be an interesting point to see as we move along in this game.
Of course, we talked about Coach Miggy of the Vikings. Let's talk a little bit about Coach Auer, entering his 16th season with the program. We talked about this many times in the broadcast. He's at win number 399 in his coaching career. One more win would give him 400 career wins.
I mean, he is one of the best to ever do it. He's an amazing coach. Obviously coached some generational talents over the past few years, and through his tenure here, just an all-around stand-up, amazing coach in the CCIW.
2019 went to the Final Four, lost to UW Oshkosh. Eventual national champion Soren Richardson. Oh, can't finish though. There's Tajon Barrett. That one also too strong. Martin wants to dice inside. No, going back to Steven Schultz. Ball kicked off the foot. Schultz still has it, still scores.
Hey, you take how you can get it. At those plays, you gotta just shrug your shoulders and say, okay, we'll take the 2 points.
Right now the Vikings on a 13-5 run in nearly the last 3 minutes, I believe. Here's a 3 by Devontae Robinson, a little bit too strong.
And that's the shot that Wheaton wants. They want to keep it on the perimeter outside the 3-point arc.
Martin going against Rico Powell. Now Noah Brumfield. 7 minutes left to go here in an exhilarating first half. Martin, 5 on the shot clock. Devin Martin, push shot, no. Out of bounds, stays with Wheaton.
We've seen quite a few of those on these last few possessions, these layups, these opportunities in the paint. Obviously a tough shot late in the shot clock. A good contest there from North Park, but you got to get those to fall if you want to win tight matchups like this one.
Soren Richardson will pull, and Rico Powell gets the board. Leading scorer right now is Barry, and Lance Nelson with 9 points. Ball's taken away, though. Soren Richardson leading the way. He has 7 points. Richardson, nice move. Just silky right there.
Silky smooth, under control, turning the corner. That's a strong finish.
Rico Powell left on an island for 3. Ball out of bounds. And it's going to be, I believe, Thunder ball.
Lance Nelson was petitioning there to get that ball back. It looked like it may have went off of a Wheaton player, maybe the hand of Richardson there, but Wheaton will retain possession.
I guess the referee's slightly favoring Wheaton there as they catch a little bit of a break.
Yeah, just a little bit.
They're shooting 43%, by the way, from the field. Wheaton is. North Park is 50% from the field.
Yeah, two teams shooting really, really well right now. It's a lot of points here as we hit the 6-minute mark.
Miles taken away by Rico Powell, and they're called double dribble. Wow. And Rico Powell is in shock.
Yeah, he's in shock. I might be too. I didn't see it. That's a tough call.
I mean, you go back to that last play, Wheaton catching 2 big breaks.
Yeah.
And again, the ball is taken away by the Vikings. That time it was T.J. Gardner. Here is Powell, and outside he's fouled.
Yeah, going back to that last possession, as we see the foul here from Schultz there, giving him a little shove. It's a lot for one point guard, one ball handler to break a press. That time, Devin Martin trying to do too much. Doesn't have much help, though. See if they get 2 guards in there to kind of help relieve the stress.
Vikings continue to just swing that ball around. Soren Richardson trying to harass. Now 8 on the shot clock. And it looks like an offensive foul going against North Park. Might be a moving screen against DJ Wallace, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so too. I believe Kyle Nebbs was trying to get his way through that screen, actually. Yeah, he's still moving. Doesn't have his feet set. Maybe a bit of a sell from Kyle Nebbs, but that's a decent call there. Can't be moving while you're trying to impede the progress of another player.
And Xavier, you were talking, oh boy, the ball almost taken away, but a foul. But you were talking about the press. How do you try to overcome it?
Well, I think you have to have multiple ball handlers that you are comfortable with handling the basketball. But also, you just got to take your time. North Park likes to rotate and double when there's an opportunity for it. So when that happens, you've got to be able to make a sound decision, be fundamental with the basketball, and get easy shots when you do that. When teams trap and you're able to break it, it's going to give you odd man opportunities that favor you in the long run.
Reason why Kyan Vanderwood is at the free throw line is because Wheaton's in the bonus. 8 fouls going against North Park so far here in half number 1.
Yeah, a lot of minor calls, some pushes, some hand checks here and there. North Park usually probably used to a bit of a more physical game and getting away with it. They're not going to get away with it today, and neither is Wheaton.
Of course, that's what Coach McGee likes, the physicality of this defense. Rico Powell for 3. That one also rings out. Another rebound gathered in by Tajon Berry.
Yeah, Tajon Berry with an easy putback there. Only one Wheaton Thunder basketball player in the lane for a rebound.
Vanderwood bangs it in. That's now 9 points for Kyan Vanderwood. Had 11 points against Benedictine, which is his career high so far. Soren Richardson able to take that one away from Lance Nelson. Fast break opportunity for the Thunder now. Clark dices in, nestles at home.
It's a beautiful play on the transition. Lance Nelson down in the corner. They've got odd man opportunities. A beautiful play there by Nathan Clark.
And Lance Nelson takes advantage of the 2-3 zone there, knocks down the triple. Off the foot, stays with Wheaton. And let's see if Rico Powell has a case to be upset. He's arguing with the referee. We need a replay of that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. The referees were kind of impeding our vision a little bit. But this is the type of chaos that Wheaton is going to be under all game tonight. They've got to be great with the basketball, be accurate with their passes, and keep the ball on a string when they're dribbling.
Rico Powell checks out for North Park. William Bates, the junior at Chicago, comes back in. There's now a stoppage of play. Not sure if there's a timeout, or I believe they're going to try to wipe. Let's see what they're trying to do here. Looks like we've entered a little bit of a timeout, so a stoppage of play. But going back to North Park, for both teams, in a way, it's interesting how they've constructed their roster. Wheaton more of the traditional, we're going to build our roster, we're going to recruit guys. They really only have one recruit coming in. That's Matt Campione. He hasn't not received as much playing time, and then Noah Hedrick transferred to Wheaton about a year ago. But you look at North Park, there are a bunch of transfers that come here.
Yeah, and it's a product of what's happening on the national stage in college. Obviously, the transfer portal is really hot right now, especially in the college football world. But when you have the ability to bring guys in from other places that have matured, have played a lot of basketball in some other areas, really benefits your program, and North Park is taking advantage of that.
Of course, Rico Powell transfer from Post University and Malcolm X College. TJ Gardner transfer from Murray State College. We'll say some others in a little bit. And on the shot clock, Kyle Nebbs pulls, knocks it in.
It's a great paint touch. Said it earlier in the broadcast, Kyle Nebbs is very comfortable down near the rim, just as comfortable as he is beyond the arc. That time, just finding the soft spot, getting the pull-up J.
Now with 7 points, Soren Richardson tipped that last pass, stays with the Vikings. But also Preston Bax, he's from New Orleans, Louisiana. He comes from Wheaton College. Dylan Fuzak from Wannabe Community College. Devontae Robinson from Stetson University, just to name a few. Outside, Tristan Arnaud for three. Won't go. And somehow it was Tajon Berry able to get the offensive rebound, nestles it in.
Tajon Berry has taken an initiative. And there's looks like it'll be an offensive foul.
Let's see who they charge it against.
Like Soren Richardson, yeah. A little bit of shoulder action there, coming down with a head of steam, and a great job there by number one, Tristan Arnaud, of sliding his feet and beating him to the spot, drawing the whistle.
I'm pretty sure Vikings fans are like, finally we get our calling our way.
Yeah.
Wheaton just being a little bit too physical. Berry. Surprised they finally they call a travel. I was going to say, it looked like a travel.
Yeah, Steve Schultz hyped up after that one. Straight up. Looks like he bobbled it on the way up as well. But I tell you what, he has taken an absolute initiative to get on the glass today. Berry has been all over the offensive glass. He's got some putbacks. It's been amazing to watch.
Of course, he has 13 points, which already ties his career high in points.
Yeah, he's had a big impact coming off the bench, but he's played a lot of this first half here, and there's a reason why.
Noah Hedrick fell down to the ground, and Tristan Arnaud just picked it out. Alley hoop upstairs, could not execute. Lance Nelson saves it. Another deep three by Devontae Robinson, won't go.
Devontae Robinson letting that thing fly. He was a few steps back away from the three-point arc right there.
Richardson, they're gonna call a foul against the defense.
Yeah, Tristan Arnaud again doing a good job of getting his feet set. Doesn't quite beat him to the spot. Maybe a bit of embellishment on the contact. But Soren Richardson will head to the line to shoot too.
Of course, Soren Richardson used to getting to the line a lot. 57 free throw attempts, first in the CCIW, of course. Shooting 83% from the charity stripe as well. I mean, Coach Shower said this a couple of weeks ago, so viewers will know about this, but Soren Richardson, Nami Adome, and Coach Shower all wore number 20. And it's kind of scary. You can make the case that, I mean, Soren Richardson, Nami Adome, both really good players for Wheaton.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's definitely following suit. Even if it's not intentional, even if it is intentional, it makes a lot of sense. And he's carrying on the brand really well.
And I asked Coach Shower, do you want to put yourself in that category? He's like, no, I don't want to do that.
A humble man he is.
Of course, he does have a lot of three-pointers as a Wheaton Thunder. Tajon Berry's foul. Shot got blocked, no foul.
I see you, Steve Schultz, hanging in the air, coming up with the block. That's a huge play as Berry has had his way this half.
Devin Martin, and that's going to be a turnover. Honestly, good defense there by Tajon Berry, disrupting the passing lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And early on, you saw Wheaton getting some really, really good shots, some open shots. They're moving the ball well. Defensively, North Park has tightened up just a little bit. Obviously, they've still been giving up some shots, still a close game, but North Park's intensity on the defensive end has ramped up as we move throughout this game from the start.
Of course, Wheaton has made 4 out of their last 5 field goals. North Park has not. It's made 1 of their last 4. Robinson using the screen. Devontae Robinson lost the ball out of bounds, and it's going to be Thunder ball.
And that's why you play the 2-3. In man, he has the opportunity to go up against one, draw another, and bring 2, but he's got 3 guys around him, swarming him, causing him to throw the ball away.
Under 90 seconds left to go now here in the final game of 2024 for the Wheaton Thunder. Their next game will be against Illinois Wesleyan on January 4th of the new calendar year. Richardson nestles it in.
Oh my goodness. A minute play, but to tie this game up, spinning back to his right, contorting his body to create the angle back for his left hand off the window. That's a chef kiss.
13 points now for Soren Richardson. Barry again able to get that one to go. North Park able to retake the lead. Again, Tajon Berry, career high 13 points already. Had 13 points against Carroll, so has an excellent chance to set a new career high. Neves from the top of the key, knocks it down.
Just how you draw it up, beautifully executed play. That's the shot that you run the play for, and Nev drills it.
10 points now for Kyle Neves. Tristan Arnaud with the shot clock turned off. Five on the shot clock now for Nelson. They're going to travel.
May seem small, but Steve Schultz stepping there.
Richardson, one more shot, the buzzer. Almost connects for Wheaton. That would have been magnificent.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. Off 1 foot from the volleyball line. Doesn't get the friendly bounce. But what a half here to start off Wheaton's home conference opener against the Vikings.
Wheaton up 44-43, and we'll bring you the start of the second half after these messages and a word from the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network.
I would say be bold. There's a lot of people here on campus who want to enter into a relationship with you. So many programs and things to get involved with, but get involved and be bold in that. And also just be unashamed of who you are. Wheaton, there is no perfect Wheaton student. Rather, we're just a bunch of broken, sinful people who are just in pursuit of a perfect God. Orientation committee, and then also, of course, transfer orientation committee if you're a transfer. These are people who have been praying for you and are making so many invitations to enter into a relationship with you in that first month being at campus. So I would just say respond to those invitations, and that goes for OC members as well as the faculty and staff that surround them. I'd say the biggest challenge was how lonely it was. When you first step onto campus, you don't have all the friends that you're gonna have. And so it took time to just learn how to make friends again. One of the best pieces of advice I had was to introduce myself to my professors as a transfer. And I was surprised just by how many emails I had from professors just making themselves known. So this is a campus where you're so known and loved.
Welcome to the Armerding Center for Music and the Arts at Wheaton College. This beautiful new facility, located in the center of our campus, is a testament to artistic potential of every person, each one with imagination, creativity, and artistic impulse in the image of God. Home to the Wheaton College Conservatory of Music and Community School of the Arts, this space is not just a building. It's a virtual symphony of possibilities. Designed with acoustical excellence in every room, the Armerding Center is a haven for music study and performance. The Armerding Center hosts vibrant performance spaces, including the recital and concert halls, where the music comes to life again and again. These spaces host performance, worship, and study at Wheaton, in which every note, every melody resonates with a higher purpose, creating immersive experiences which transcend the sounds themselves. These venues, together with the Grand Edmund Chapel, provide opportunities to experience the sacred truths of music and the God who initiated music in the first place. Step into this thriving hub of creativity and community. Every week, the Armerding Center pulsates with energy, offering a kaleidoscope of events, faculty and student recitals, ensemble concerts, visiting artists' performances, and masterclasses. But amidst the excitement, there is deep focus. Our state-of-the-art practice rooms, classrooms, and performance spaces are not just physical structures, but evidence of the college's commitment to acoustic engineering and aesthetic beauty. Over 40 practice rooms, a choral rehearsal room, and numerous classrooms underscore our dedication to the arts and the artists. Our students and faculty now revel in spaces with proper climate control, sound isolation, and ample storage. No longer scattered across 6 different buildings, the Conservatory of Music has found its unified home, a building named in honor of the esteemed Hudson T. Armerding, class of '41, former president of Wheaton College. We are delighted to share with you the Armerding Center. This space supports, encourages, and creates new pathways for artistic engagement. The building is much more than bricks and mortar. It is a symbol of the college's enduring commitment to excellence and the thriving creative community that calls it home. We are eager to share this magnificent building with you, our students, faculty, and our community for generations to come. The Armerding Center for Music and the Arts provides endless artistic possibilities for the enduring power of music to inspire, uplift, and unite us all.
think one of the fun things about deciding where to go to college is that all of your peers are in kind of the same place. Remember, other people have done this, other people have gone before me and will come after me and are going through it with me now. It's not as isolating as it may feel. I didn't really know what I was looking for at first. It started with me just scrolling through website after website of colleges. I knew I wanted something that was medium-sized. I knew that I wanted a strong natural sciences department. I knew that I wanted to be challenged academically inside the classroom, but I also didn't want life to stop in the classroom. I'm grateful that I was able to visit as many schools as I did. A large part of my decision to attend Wheaton was influenced by my campus visit. What instantly stood out to me was that everyone on campus was smiling. I felt welcomed, I felt appreciated, seen, and wanted. And so the application process itself was really joy-filled. The decision process was quite a different story. I got the decisions and acceptances and rejections back, and rejections stung. I became very stressed. I started to question, do I want to keep going to school? Do I want to go far? Do I want to come closer to home? And that's where I really started to ask, okay, what are the options remaining before me? And Wheaton was again at the top. I started to work with Ellen, my admissions counselor. I just worked with her really closely and had several hour-long phone calls, just talking through what does a Wheaton education look like? What is the value of a Wheaton education? And got to have personal conversations and interactions. So even during a time that was really stressful, I felt valued and seen as a whole person rather than just a GPA and test scores.
What does it mean to truly be a community for Christ and his kingdom?
Human communities throughout the centuries have made agreements with one another on how they are going to live.
Faith should not be compartmentalized. It should shape and enrich every aspect of life.
People are coming here to be shaped and formed for life.
All three of these statements, the statement of faith, the community covenant, the diversity commitment, are really ways of fleshing out our nice, succinct model for Christ and his kingdom.
These commitments make Wheaton a place of depth and layers.
Faculty, staff, and students, we all try to follow Christ.
It's a place that really develops the heart, mind, body, and soul.
And it's not about rules, it's about how we show love to one another.
They're not meant to just be these words on a page that sound really good to say, but honestly, help us to try to live out those things daily. I see it as an attempt to marry what we do and say.
The mission of Wheaton College is to serve Jesus Christ and advance his kingdom through excellence in liberal arts education. That mission is empowered by the enduring commitments that we make and keep. Our statement of faith, that's what we believe, our commitment to biblical evangelical orthodoxy. Our community covenant, those are promises we make to one another and to God about the way we're going to live in Christian community. And also our Christ-centered diversity commitment, how we express beautiful diversity within the body of Christ, pursuing Christian unity. Those commitments make Wheaton a very special place, a place we hope that God is calling you to join.
Welcome back to the start of the second half between the Wheaton Thunder and the North Park Vikings. Thunder edging out the Vikings 44-43. And Xavier, what were your thoughts on the first half?
I thought it was a really good half offensively for both sides of the basketball. Wheaton having a better shot selection than they have, only 6 threes put up. They got to the foul line quite a bit. North Park also going 7 for 19 from 3, shooting really well. That's kept them afloat. Barry having a huge first half with 15 points. Also Lance Nelson with 12, the only double-digit scorers for North Park. It'll be interesting to see, though. There were 11 lead changes in the first half. It'll be interesting to see which team can sustain their own runs, minimize punches to themselves, and win this basketball game.
Of course, what's also interesting is that Wheaton, they have 28 points in the paint, and they average about 31 this season. That puts themselves in the 36th percentile. Meanwhile, North Park averages about 34 points in the paint in the 59th percentile. Richardson muscles it in.
Soren Richardson, one of the better guards that is able to work down low. That time he just bodies his way down to his left hand against a friendly bounce off the back of the rim.
13 points, 2 rebounds, and assists, and 2 steals for Soren Richardson in half number 1. There's Preston Bax, now 9 on the shot clock for Rico Powell against Richardson. Powell from the low post has to put up the mid-range jumper, can't get it to go, out of bounds. And it is Wheaton ball. Of course, Wheaton shot 17 of 33 from the field, 52% if you want to round it up. North Park 16 of 32, 50%. Talk about that offensive production in half number 1. For offenses, I mean, North Park averages about 73 points per game, 5th in the Seaside W. Wheaton averages about 69 points per game. That's 8th in the conference. Martin spin cycle, gets it to go.
Devin Martin going in the spin cycle, getting back to his right hand. Beautiful move, no help from North Park. Easy deuce.
4 points and 3 rebounds for Devin Martin. Here's now Preston Bax back outside. Rico Powell for 3 off the heel. And going back to the first half, Wheaton is on an 11-2 run. Vanderwood for 3, can't get it to go. But an 11-2 run in the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds. A 7-0 run in the last 2 minutes and 23 seconds is Wheaton. Nelson will now try from beyond the arc. And Noah Hedrick gets the board. Richardson right down the teeth, nestles at home. Powell just got blocked there by Vanderwood. And they're finally going to call a foul. Yeah, DJ Wallace going inside.
Yeah, clear foul there. What a crazy sequence over these past few possessions. Spin move there, and the block from Vanderwood. The second chance opportunity. Lance finding his big man Wallace.
Sophomore at Hoffman State, Illinois, still looking for his first points of the game. Seven points, 4 rebounds, and assists against Milliken in his last game. Had 8 points against Alma. Last year appearing in 24 games, started in 5, as now started 5 games already this season. Only averaged about 4 points, 2 rebounds. Shot 53% on true shooting. I mean, this is a team that you're replacing the leading scorer from last year in Colton Van Lanningham. He had 18 points, as well as Shamar Pumper, who had 11 points. But it looks like North Park has some good production.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously some huge shoes to fill from last year. A really good North Park team that came in and had their way in the CCIW, but some really good guys that have come in this year to fill those shoes.
As it looks like they're going to call a blocking foul against Rico Powell.
Yeah, Rico Powell yet to get going And good thing for the Thunder, because he is such a game changer. Another foul there. He'll be someone that can have an absolute crazy effect on this game if he can get going.
Only 3 points in the first half for a guy who averages 15.1 points per game. Leading the team, also going to have to be 7th in the CCIW. Shot clock winding down. Hedrick gets it to go.
Noah Hedrick on his way down the court giving the stank face. That was a nasty move. The spin move and the tough finish.
4 points now for Noah Hedrick. Offensive rebound gathered by DJ Wallace. Gets the double team, still gets it to go.
Yeah, a lot of contact there down low. No call, but DJ Wallace able to elevate and finish through contact to get the deuce.
Soren Richardson with 7 on the shot clock. That three too shallow. And Rico Powell buries a 3-pointer.
There it is, and that's how quickly he can shoot the ball. Lance Nelson pushing the pace, and then just a simple little drop pass to Rico, and he knocks it down.
Hedrick dances his way forward, able to nestle it in. Again, Soren Richardson leading scorer on both teams, 17 points. Lance Nelson with the help defense from Vanderwood. Nice rebound there by Hedrick. And the ball on the ground, Hedrick still has it, and taken away though by Powell. 2-on-2 fast break. Rico Powell, pedal to the metal, and it looks like he's fouled.
Yeah, we talked about it a little earlier in the broadcast, but when there's only one primary ball handler on the floor and they are being denied the basketball, it puts the ball in a very, just a vulnerable position. And that time, Noah Hedrick, he can handle the ball, but he's not the guy that you want it to bring up the court. And eventually he turns the ball over and it goes back the other way for the Vikings.
So as we said before, Rico Powell, a transfer from Post University, only played in 3 games there, but did play at Malcolm X College for 2 seasons. 2 years ago in 2022-23, appeared in 24 games, averaged 11 points per game. Now he comes here to North Park, as we said, leading scorer, had his first career double-double in Division III against UW Oshkosh, 28 points, 14 rebounds on 56% true shooting, knocks down the second free throw.
Yeah, he's a guy who's emerging as a star player. He's going to be someone that is circled as one of the best players in this conference. Just a truly tremendous, terrific player.
Stephen Schultz in the game for Wheaton, just checked in, and that one is taken away. Here comes TJ Gardner. Gardner shivers it in.
Beautiful play by TJ Gardner. We haven't called his name in a while, but he had a huge first part of the first half. Looking for more of that if you're at North Park.
Nebs for 3. That one pounces out, ball out of bounds, and it's going to be, I believe, Vikings ball.
Getting a little sped up. That's the shot that you want to see. Devin Martin trying to get his hands dirty and get an offensive rebound. Couldn't corral it. But a tie game, 5 minutes into this second half. And now they're starting to settle in. This is the huge next few minutes for both of these clubs.
Vikings on a 9-2 run in the last 2 minutes and 25 seconds. 10 on the shot clock. Swing the ball around to Devontae Robinson. And Vanderwood gets the board. Being hounded there on the double team. Out of bounds. Stays with Wheaton.
Even on the missed shot, North Park getting up in your face, trapping, anticipating passes, getting deflections. Definitely going to be paramount for Wheaton to take care of the basketball.
Wheaton showing 5 of 8 from the field here in the second half, and they're going to call another foul against Rico Powell.
Yeah, another reach in and another one of those fouls that usually go unnoticed. A little bit of foul trouble for North Park heading into these latter stages.
Only the second personal foul issued against Rico Powell, but don't want these to pile up too quickly, otherwise Wheaton might get into the bonus in half number 2. Of course, Wheaton got into the bonus pretty, I don't want to say relatively early, but kind of midway into the first half, which allowed them to shoot some free throws.
Yeah, earlier than you want it. Then you want to be in the bonus for sure. There were some times where North Park had some momentum and then get a foul, and then they're looking at a guy in a white jersey shooting 2 free throws. So obviously got to stay out of foul trouble so that you can continue to get out and run.
Richardson against Devontae Robinson, 6 on the shot clock. Harass Richardson, that one skips out.
And that's a tougher shot in comparison to the one earlier. The one earlier, he was one-on-one. That time, he's got a few black jerseys around him. Tougher shot.
Powell from the mid-range. That one also pounces off the back. I mean, remember from last year when these two teams, the last time these two teams played, Wheaton had the opportunity to get to the CCIW tournament, but blew their chance. North Park pulled off on upset alert. Rather, North Park pulled off the upset, allowed Augustana to get in the CCIW tournament, but completely different feel. Vanderwood on 5, knocks it in.
Good finish by Vanderwood, but also another great pass from Steve Schultz. Taking his time on the cut, finding the open man. Vanderwood able to put it home.
And now Wheaton going back to their 2-3 zone. Something that was seen, and you mentioned in the first half. Robinson able to get it back outside. Here's now William Bates. Bates shivers it in.
Woo. That's a move from Bates, and a tough finish with the left hand over the long and lanky. Vanderwood gets it to go, and there's going to be a timeout. Yeah, just swinging it around the horn there. Gets Nathan Taylor off his feet. Creates the driving lane. A beautiful finish, really. That's not easy to do. And he makes it look like he's been doing it ever since he was little.
Of course, going back to our interview that we had with Coach Howard, we talked about the difference between the high school game and the college game. But what we also talked about was what he termed as toughness, going back to the Jay Billis definition. He talked about, hey, our team lacked toughness and physicality, but a lot of improvements, especially in that game against Elmhurst.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously on the physical level, you have to have some pushback. You can't get pushed around. But when you're a young team, you're fighting for respect in the CCIW, you have to have some mental toughness. There's a lot of good teams. I would argue that every team in this conference is really, really, really good, no matter where they're at. And so when you're playing against these teams, you're gonna encounter some adversity. You're gonna see some things that you didn't normally see. Teams are gonna get hot. Teams are gonna turn you over. Teams are gonna get on runs, but you have to have the mental toughness to be able to take a deep breath, understand that the run is gonna end and that yours is about to start when you play the way that you're supposed to play.
Of course, using the Jay Billis definition, toughness has nothing to do with size, physical strength, or athleticism. Toughness is a skill, and it is a skill that can be developed and improved.
We're seeing it here from both of these teams.
And something also that Coach Howard talked about is, hey, we don't really foul that much, but against Elmhurst, they fouled a lot.
Yeah, they did, and that ultimately was the deciding factor in the game.
In fact, they had 23 personal fouls. Wheaton did against the Blue Jays. And that one picked off there by Sean Richardson like a free safety. Tie ball game, 56 apiece here. Final CCIW game, rather final regular season game of the calendar year for the Thunder. Nebs for 3, boom goes the dynamite. 13 points now for Kyle Nebs. Rico Powell upstairs, and he's fouled.
Yeah, that soft spot in the zone right at the top of the key around the foul line has been a weak spot for this Wheaton defense here, playing this 2-3. Obviously, you have to concede some ground on the court, but when you can get the ball in the middle against a 2-3, good things are going to happen.
So Rico Powell, 83% from the free throw line this season. And he leads the team in rebounds per game as well, 6.6 to be exact, 5th in the CCIW. Also has 14 steals, which is tied for 4th. I'm assuming, going back to that 2-3 zone, one of the weaknesses is the high post,
yes,
as well as the perimeter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, absolutely, and that's another reason why it's so dangerous, is because when the ball gets to the high post, you have to respect it. Usually brings the defense in, and then you're able to kick it out for perimeter three-point opportunities.
Vanderwood's an inbound, and that ball almost taken away. As Wheaton gets across the timeline, here's Christian Veers back to Hedrick. Noah Hedrick won't go. And that pass from Bates out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Vikings.
Yeah, on that last possession, a good look for Noah Hedrick down low, but he tries to finish on the other side of the rim. And Barry is sitting there waiting for him, heavily contested. Might have been able to take a pound dribble and go up on the same side of the rim, but nonetheless, it's North Park basketball.
Nelson back to Rico Powell for 3. And Veers almost got the board in. Looks like a loose ball foul going against William Bates.
Yeah, Bates looks like he just got his hand tied up. But a great job by Christian Veers. He's not near the rim when that shot is up, but he gets his body in position, gets a great box out, and draws the foul.
Hedrick, and the ball out of bounds yet again, and it's going to be Vikings ball. Of course, not the first time North Park has gone up against a zone. Against Milliken, they saw a lot of 1-3-1 against the Big Blue, but able to overcome, especially with some clutch threes, as there is William Bates taken to the rack.
A nice drive there, nobody to stop him on the baseline.
And almost a miscue there. That went off the hands of Hedrick, but stays with Wheaton. Devontae Robinson a little bit slow to get up, but it looks like he is okay. As Rico Powell will come out of the game. Tristan Arnaud is back in. Robinson will also check out for the Vikings. That's the trigger. 10:41 to go here in half number 2. Vikings holding on to a 1-point lead. Hedrick against Preston Bax. Hedrick takes him to work.
That's another mismatch. On the last few possessions, Hedrick had Barry on him. That time, he gets Preston Bax and is able to go up and finish well.
Lance Nelson, a corner 3. And the shot won't go. Oh, nice baseball pass to Christian Veers, no foul. Great defense there by Tristan Arnaud.
And great anticipation there, got up earlier than Christian Veers did and was able to alter the shot.
A 3 on the ensuing possession, rolls out, Hedrick gets the board. And they're gonna call a foul against North Park. It's gonna go against Tajon Berry.
Talked about it a little bit earlier, but this Wheaton team has answered the call to have a better presence rebounding. Obviously, they're playing a team who's also playing guards as well, so they have a little bit better probability, but still, they are getting their hands dirty, getting their nose in the paint so that they can retain rebounds offensively and defensively.
As we said before, Wheaton is on a 4-game losing streak. North Park on a 4-game winning streak. That ball pelted out of bounds, stays with Wheaton. But a win here would do so much for the Thunder. Get their first conference win, get Coach Schauer his 400th career win in his coaching career, but just overall just get back that confidence that Wheaton really wants.
Yeah, a lot of playing sports and winning and having the confidence to play at your best is confidence in and itself. And what better way to come off of a losing streak to beat a team who is really, really hot right now, sitting at the top of the conference.
And North Park love to go to 3-0 in CCIW play. They're going to, believe, get another foul. Is that against Tayshawn Berry again?
Yes. Working on Soren Richardson there. Just a little bit of a bump with the left side of his body, and he'll check out.
Now, he has 3 personal fouls now with 9:28 to go. Oh, the only one in foul trouble for the Vikings. Richardson, my goodness, how is that taken away by Tristan Arnaud? Wow, before Devin Martin steals it back. Martin graces the cylinder. Under 9 minutes to go, 9 on the shot clock for Preston Bax. Nelson thought about the corner 3, shimmers and now goes to John Gaines. Gaines able to score. First field goal for John Gaines, now has 3 points in this ball game.
Yeah, and that's a big bucket. These teams going back and forth, trading blows. This is going to come down to the wire.
Again, Tayshawn Berry, who is in foul trouble, leading scorer for the Vikings with 15 points. Soren Richardson, leading scorer, he has 17. Nice 45 cut to Devin Martin, but he's hacked there on a foul.
Yeah, Devin Martin playing really, really well and really, really hard on the cut there. The armbar in the lower back of Devin Martin is what draws the foul, and North Park has yet to adjust to the referee's style of calling fouls.
I mean, at least you can give credit to the referees. They're being consistent with their calls.
Absolutely, and that's all that you can ask. And a lot of times, as a player, as a coach, you're complaining about the referees, but if you have the mindset to be able to adjust to it, then there's a way to kind of navigate it. So North Park definitely needs to have that conversation. They've got some guys in foul trouble. Well, Barry is the only one with 3. Actually, Gaines as well has 3. Some other guys with 2, but they've got to be able to adjust as Wheaton is coming up on being in the bonus.
Of course, if you know the all-time series between these two teams, Wheaton leads it 67-50. But prior to the 2022-23 season, when both teams made it to the NCAA tournament, Wheaton owned North Park. They swept for the last 3 seasons, and North Park at one point lost 7 straight games. But for the Vikings, I mean, we talked about this before. Coach Smith really bringing back some power and some rejuvenation to this program, even with Coach McGee in his first year. North Park still stands a chance to be competitive.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you look for when you're looking for coaches, especially in basketball. A lot of what it is motivation to be able to go out and play 2 times a week and practice 3 or 4 times a week and getting your guys to buy in, and Coach Smith has been able to do that for this program.
For Coach McGee, served as an alma mater at DePaul. He was once the head coach at Wheaton College before joining North Park in 2022, where he was an assistant coach under Coach Smith before Sean Smith went to South Dakota, where he's now serving as an assistant head coach. Then they promoted Coach McGee, serving as we said before, his first year, and they also promoted Coach Aaron Jacobs as the assistant head coach. He was previously at Wabash and Wisconsin Lutheran. So honestly, a lot of guys familiar with Coach Onenson of the Warriors, and Lance Nelson knocks down the 3.
Yeah, coming out of the timeout, drawing up a play for the Wheaton 2-3 defense. Lance Nelson all alone in the corner, setting his feet and letting it fly.
15 points now for Lance Nelson, career high 21 points against North Park last season on January 10th. Vanderwood, one more pass, as now it's Kyle Nebbs for 3. Oh, that one rattles in and out.
It's a really good look, though. Wheaton has been moving the ball exceptionally well, something that they haven't necessarily done a ton of consistently throughout ball games.
Once again, getting that high post with Preston Bax. Schultz has him for now. Oh, nice backdoor cut. It's DJ Wallace bringing down the sledgehammer.
And there it is, just another miscommunication. A back cut down the baseline from Lance Nelson opened it up for DJ Wallace.
6 points now for Wallace. Again, did not score in half number 1. North Park has the lead. They're on a 5-0 run in the last minute and 15 seconds. Vanderwood, blocking foul going against Tristan Arnaud.
Arnaud trying to draw another charge there. Looked like there was a lot of contact. Could have sold it, but there is a bit of embellishment. He's coming off of his feet just a little bit, but doing a really good job of staying in position, right? He was doing a good job of sliding his feet, just maybe a little bit too many theatrics for the refs to buy.
That ball went out of bounds. That's going to stay with Wheaton. And this is also pretty cool. All the starters for the Wheaton Thunder are in double figures.
Wow.
Nebbs has 13, Vanderwood has 11, Martin has 10, Richardson has 17, Noah Hedrick has 10.
Yeah, that's the type of production that you want to see from your top 5. Playing really, really well all together.
North Park, meanwhile, has 3 players in double figures. Hedrick again spins inside, shivers at home.
It's a big, strong move, even with the help coming from his right side. Spins back to his right. And is able to finish through contact.
Yeah, going back to North Park, Rico Powell has 10, Tajon Berry with 15, Lance Nelson also with 15. Powell's just checked back in. Here's Arnaud, a deep triple. Too much sauce. Powell, the offensive rebound. Well, that was way off though. Beers inside the paint. Christian Beers.
This Wheaton team loves their spin moves, don't they? There's another one there. Christian Veers, smooth like butter baby, getting 2 and putting Wheaton up by 2.
First field goal now for Veers, guy who has started in a couple of games, in fact 5 to be exact, and that one picked up by Veers. Martin wants to push, thought about it, picked up by Arnaud. Oh, hard, and they're going to call an offensive foul.
And there it is. You figured at some point that it was going to be coming. You see Tristan Arnaud down inside near the paint. You know he's going to try to take a charge. That time he was able to sell it enough, and actually looks like Devin Martin extended his left arm just a little bit. That could have drawn the foul, but it's going back the other way for North Park.
Vikings shooting 8 of 21 from the field here in half number 2, 38%. Wheaton 11 of 20, 55%. Both teams also very balanced in terms of the number of turnovers. Wheaton has 13, North Park has 12. Both teams turned it over 8 times in their last games respectively. Gardner with the floater there. That was another sick move by TJ Gardner.
Yeah, TJ Gardner's bag is deep, and he's been pulling stuff out the bag all game. He's been playing at a very high level, and one of the reasons why the Vikings are still tied up in this game.
First points for the Vikings in the last minute and 50 seconds. Richardson ball is on the ground as you had TJ Gardner and Rico Powell fighting for it. They're going to call it jump ball, and it's going to be Vikings ball.
Yeah, Wheaton has been doing a good job of avoiding the double team pretty much all game for the most part, but there on that turnover sneaks up on him, and that double team was the reason why the jump ball was called.
Once again, and that is this time Tajon Berry. Vikings take the lead, 71-69. And now they're going to call a foul against TJ Gardner as he was jostled up there with Devin Martin.
Yeah, TJ Gardner all up in Devin Martin's business.
And with that being said, now the Thunder are back in the bonus. 8 fouls going against the Vikings, so that means Devin Martin, I believe, will shoot a 1-and-1. Of course, Martin, he's 9 of 19 from the free throw line entering this game, so 47% on a small sample size. But he misses the first, that's big. Approaching nearly under 3 minutes to go, rather 4 minutes to go here. It's been a great game between the Vikings and the Thunder. Inside, and they're gonna give it to the Thunder.
It's a tough pass to try to squeeze through 2 defenders. Looked like Barry actually had positioning underneath. If he would have been able to get that pass, corral it, could have had 2 points out of it, but good hands by Wheaton creating the turnover.
Only 13 turnovers for North Park. Wheaton has 14. Hedrick against Lance Nelson. Hedrick now gets triple teamed, and they're going to call another foul. Hedrick will go to the line.
Yeah, Hedrick working on 2 with the help of a third from Barry. Just gets his hands in there, and when a guy is stranded like that, has picked up his dribble, you don't want to reach, you don't want to bail him out. In a regular context, that would just be out of bounds. But now, because they're in the bonus, they get 2 points out of that, and you really didn't need to reach in right there.
Looks like Devontae Robinson will check in for Preston Bax, but going for the Thunder, you lose from last season. You lose Nick Chavello, you lose Nate Sock, Braun, Carson Shum, but it's been Noah Hedrick kind of stepping up for the Thunder. I mean, second in the team in points per game, averaging nearly 13.
Yeah, he played in spurts last year, played a little bit, kind of assumed his role this year. He's had to really get scrappy, get down on rebounds, and play really a big man role, and he stepped up in a big way.
Hedrick misses the second free throw. Wheaton's now 9 of 15 from the line. That's 60%. Meanwhile, North Park is shooting 10 of 11, 91%.
Yeah, the best teams that win the most games shoot free throws well. Got to be able to knock them down as we get close to the end of the game.
Nelson with an unlucky roll. Here comes now the Thunder. Hedrick lost the ball, and here comes Devontae Robinson. All gas, no brakes, draws the foul. And I think Steven Schultz is in disbelief of that call.
Yeah, Steve hustling back, trying to get his body in position. We'll see it here. Looks like his body was straight up, but his momentum was carrying him forward, which is technically a foul. It's tough to be able to go from full speed to straight up in such a short time.
Devontae Robinson started in his last game against Milken. He's made 2 career starts, ironically against the Big Blue, as he started against them last year. Now has 7 points in this ball game, had 8 against the Big Blue, had 18 points against Aurora, a guy who played in 25 games a season ago, averaged 4-2 on 56% true shooting. The second one's no good. Eight on the shot clock, inside pass nearly taken away. Schultz still has it. Now 4 to shoot. Outside, Richardson for 3. Rolls out.
It's a really good look after all the chaos. Every possession is mattering more and more as the clock ticks.
And now a timeout on the play. Vikings up 72-72, 19 left to go. Xavier, what do you think is the strategy for both teams?
Well, I think North Park obviously being up with the lead, if they can hold on to it, they're going to have to continue what they've done on the free throw line. Wheaton is going to have to make their shots count. and ultimately turnovers is going to be something that is so crucial. I think turnovers and free throw shooting are going to impact this game as we move through the last 2 minutes and 19 seconds.
As we said before, Tajon Berry leading the way along with Soren Richardson, both with 17 points, except Berry, he is in foul trouble. He has 4 personal fouls. And then you have Lance Nelson, 15 points, Rico Powell with 10. Meanwhile, on the Thunder side, Soren Richardson leading the way. He has 17 points. And then Kyle Nebbs, Noah Hedrick, each with 13. Vanderwood with 11. And Devin Martin with 10. And Xavier, of course, given that you are a quarterback, I've been wanting to ask you this question for a while, but you had the opportunity to start against North Central.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, how was it like to play, finally get your first career start in college?
I mean, it was pretty surreal. Obviously, Mark Percucci, our starter, he was questionable all week, so didn't really know until the day of if I was going to play or not. But it was a pretty surreal experience and just really awesome. You know, you train to play in games like that, and that's kind of why you come to Wheaton, to play in big games and play for a chance to win the bell. So it was pretty awesome.
Of course, Coach Scott, he was very high on you after your performance, I must say.
He was generous.
High off the glass, and there is TJ Gardner, shivers it in.
That's just a testament to the game that he has had all game. Kind of quiet through the second part of the first half and the first part of the second half, but he has come alive here and got some big buckets for North Park down the stretch. 4th Vikings player now in double figures. He has 10 points.
Under 100 seconds to go, and there's Soren Richardson. We got ourselves a timeout, a minute 34 to go. So I'm assuming if you're Wheaton, the plan is you got to hold down defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be, just got to be better, you know. And so scoring also comes with playing defense. You got to generate stops. Obviously, still with the 2-point lead here, so the Vikings are good, but they got to tighten up defensively in order to close this game down.
And we, of course, talked about this in the broadcast, the toughness, the physicality that was Coach Schauer was mentioning. How do you think the Thunder have fared in that department, the toughness and the physicality part?
I think they've played just fine. They have out-rebounded. They've gotten really scrappy. They've gotten on the floor. And just from an energy standpoint, it's not just about being physical, but also about bringing energy, also about hustling to the basketball, hustling on defense, not being stagnant on offense. And it showed up in every single facet of Wheaton's play today, and I think Coach Schauer will at least be pleased with that no matter the outcome.
To just give a little bit of a game reset, Wheaton has 2 timeouts, North Park has 3. Wheaton's in the bonus because North Park has 9 fouls against them, but North Park, they're not in the bonus because Wheaton has 5 fouls issued against them. Just kind of give a little bit of context, especially if Wheaton's not able to get their field goals and they're forced to play the foul game. And are you still surprised they're employing this 2-3 zone?
Not at all. I think it's, for the most part, it has been pretty good. They've given up some open 3 looks.
Robinson, that trims the rim, and the ball's still loose. Richardson has it. Down by 2, dipping nearly under a minute here. Richardson picked up by TJ Gardner. Lost the ball, out of bounds. Wheaton ball.
Close call there. TJ Gardner all up in Soren Richardson's business. Smelling the chewing gum that he's got in his mouth. Good hands there.
And again, the ball's on the ground, and it's going to be Vikings ball. Huge play there for North Park.
Yeah, on the inbound, Soren Richardson just trying to box out the bigger DJ Wallace. An errant pass because of the lack of space there. And that's a tough possession to give up. Now you're inside a minute, still down 2. You have some fouls to give, but ultimately you want to get a shot out of that possession. They held the ball there for quite some time, just over 20 seconds or so, and didn't get a shot opportunity.
And I'm assuming for North Park, or rather for Wheaton, you don't have to play the foul game just yet. But for North Park, just obviously, what's Coach McGee talking about in his huddle?
Coach McGee is saying we have to take care of the basketball, no turnovers, but get a great shot. We don't need a 3. We don't need a forced contested 2. We need to move the ball around, take the shot clock down low inside of 10, and get a quality shot so that we can extend this lead to a 2-possession game.
So North Park, they will advance the ball. Rather, not going to advance the ball, excuse me about that. We're going to just do this the normal way as we dip under 50 seconds to go.
Wheaton going back to man, alert for a lot of different driving lanes coming off of screens.
TJ Gardner has the ball. 12 on the shot clock, nearly dipping under 30 seconds in game time. Screen set there by Tajon Berry. Nelson, outside, Robinson, 3 on the shot clock. Devontae Robinson, floater goes! Huge 3 by Robinson, timeout of the floor. It's a 4-point game.
I tell you what, he had his struggles from the 3-point arc, only hitting 1 for 5. But that is a huge shot. He's coming in as a shooter, gets his man up off of his feet, hits the floater, beautiful touch. And that's the type of shot that you want to see. But also, like I said, coming out of that 2-3 zone, there's not that many people to come and to compress those types of shots. And that time he was able to get it to fall.
Second field goal made, but could have not asked for a better time to make it here and make it a 2-possession game. Now if you're Wheaton, when do you consider start just, okay, going for the 2 or going for the 3? When's that going to take into consideration?
I think as long as it's a quick shot. I don't necessarily like a quick contested 3. So if you can get to the rack, it's probably a good option. But anything quick, you got to get it to probably shoot it around 16, 15. So that if it does go, then you have some time to foul, and then after the foul, you have some time to come back down the court to score.
Shot clock's turned off. Now under 20 seconds to go. Here's Devin Martin. Again, a 2-possession game. 12 now on the clock. Richardson fires from beyond the arc.
Oh my goodness. Cold-blooded. Time winding down. What is that shot? That is crazy. Over the long and lanky DJ Wallace. Absolutely clutch. And pandemonium still. This is chaos. These teams are going back and forth, shot after shot, tough bucket after tough bucket. We're seeing some quality basketball here tonight in King Arena.
22 points now for Soren Richardson. And now, if you're the Thunder, I'm assuming, what do you go for here on defensively? And then what is Coach McGee telling his team offensively?
Obviously, a full court press coming from Wheaton. If you're North Park, you know they're going to have to foul you quickly. So it's just about getting the ball in safely and making sound passes. Have to be fundamental with the basketball. Cannot have a mistake of turning the ball over and giving them an opportunity to win this basketball game.
Wheaton is out of timeouts. They have 5 fouls, team fouls against them. So it's going to, I believe, take 2 fouls to get themselves into the bonus, if I'm not mistaken, for North Park to get into the bonus, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. And that's also another huge factor, too, because they just have to take it right back out again after the foul. So Wheaton really needs a steal right here.
7.5 seconds. Look at this. Everyone's lined up at the backcourt. They're running some football right here, Xavier.
Yeah, absolutely. Little trips to the top of your screen, single receiver to the bottom.
And they'll immediately foul. I believe who's that? It's going to be Tajon Berry. So I believe they have to do that one more time. And this time it will be a side out. Rather, not a side out. You still have Rico Powell.
There's the turnover. There's the turnover that they needed. A miscommunication on the inbound. And that's the last thing that you want. And Wheaton's got one more shot to get after this thing. No timeouts, though. No time to converse, no time to draw up a play. These are your guys going up against theirs to win this game. Here we go.
Kyle Neves, Soren Richardson, Kyan Vanderwood, Devin Martin, Noah Hedrick. The original starting five is back in. Neves to trigger for Wheaton, 6.7 to go. Thunder out of timeouts. North Park still has 2.
And with all 5, they're all in double digits. Anybody can score.
They give it to Soren Richardson, put up the shot, won't go. And they will foul Rico Powell. 3.1 now left to go.
That's a tough shot off the inbound. 6 seconds. Obviously, you don't have all the time in the world. So you'd love to see a better one than that. But still, 3 seconds up on the clock. And this can only be pushed to a 3-point game.
Ice water in his veins. Rico Powell makes it a 2-point game, an 83% free throw shooter. Vikings 11 of 13 from the free throw line at 85% so far in this ball game. Powell knocks down both. Vikings call timeout. 3.1 seconds left to go. Now what's the plan for both teams?
Well, North Park, obviously no threes, but also with that same point, you can't foul. If Wheaton gets the opportunity to shoot a shot from beyond 3-point range, you cannot impede where the shooter is landing. You can't even get close to him. So you have to just keep everything in front, and if they do get the ball, do not foul and bail them out and give them an opportunity to get 3 at the foul line instead of just hitting it straight up.
Okay, Wheaton's next game will be against Illinois Wesleyan on January 4th of the new calendar year. Meanwhile, for North Park, they'll be going back home. They have Lawrence on December 18th, so in about a couple of days, they'll still be playing, but would it be a huge win for the Vikings, get to 3-0 in CCIW play? I mean, I know the teams that they played, Carroll, Milliken, not necessarily projected to finish at the top of the conference, but still really nice to get those wins, get your confidence going in conference play.
Yeah, absolutely, and these games before break hold a lot more weight and a lot more meaning the further you get on down the road into late January, into February. These games are huge.
There's Kyle Neves to trigger. They get it to Soren Richardson. 2 on the clock. Richardson for the tie. It won't go, and the Vikings hang on 78-75 as they'll improve to 6-3, 3-0 overall in CCIW play. See that last shot there. Richardson had a chance there, could not get it to go. Meanwhile, for Wheaton, they will fall down to 3-8, 0-2 in CCIW play. They have now lost 5 games in a row. And hopefully we'll get a post-game interview between Xavier Jones and Coach Schauer. Xavier, take it away.
Coach Schauer. Apologies. Coach Scott, thanks. Yeah, I mean, listen, we keep getting better and better. We make so many youthful mistakes. It cost us tonight. A really significant substitution that I just can't make. And then on that last out-of-bounds play, we need to do something a little different there. But both those are my fault. So listen, I don't know how many games we're going to win, but you can we're just playing so many young people, and the mistakes we're making, actually, the stuff we talked about yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever it was in my office, that it's stuff they won't make 12 months from now, but it's going to be some painful lessons, because a lot of times, I use this example all the time, when you're raising kids, sometimes the only way they find out the stove is hot is they touch it. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you for your time, Coach. And that's it for tonight. That's the conclusion of tonight. Wheaton falling tonight to North Park. As always, thank you for joining us on behalf of the Wheaton Thunder Sports Broadcasting Network crew. We thank you. And so long from King Arena. We'll see you next time.